What's going on, everyone? My name is Mr.Aquaman, and welcome to the KoloCast, a weekly show hosted by myself and the man Flashyy over there. What's going on, Flashyy?
What's going on, Aquaman? Super excited for today's episode. Episode 11. We're almost at 3 months of KoloCast episodes. It's absolutely crazy, but super excited for today. We got someone relatively new to the scene, but came in swinging. Please introduce our guest. Bring her on in.
Oh my goodness. Joining us for episode 11, for some quick math out there, that's 6 more than 5. I don't know if you guys are keeping track at home, but welcome everyone. This week, we've got NotVeraGood. Vera, welcome to the KoloCast. Flashyy said it himself. You're one of the newest faces in this community. You came in swinging with both fists and a Tim Hortons cup that I'd never see you without. How is it going? Welcome to the show, and tell us a bit about yourself, because I would love to get into the origin story, how you came to be this content creator that, again, it feels like such a niche community to get involved with, let alone in the capacity that you've gotten involved into it with. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, Flashyy. Hello, Mr. Aquaman. Once again, thank you so much for having me. But again, I'm Vera, not Vera. Vera. You can call me Vera. NotVeraGood. I don't know. I'm like Flashyy said, I'm relatively new to the community. But when I decided to play Mortal Kombat and host events, I knew where I want to be. I knew what impacts I want to make. I knew where I want to be in a couple, years, in a couple months. There are certain things that it's just, before you get into something, you just know what you want to do, period. And Mortal Kombat wasn't really the first choice. I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Like the first choice was really music. That's what I've done. That's what I've been doing all my life. I mean, I'm a musician, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, and I said maybe Twitch would be the platform for that. COVID happened, and it was just like something that I have to do, super difficult, because there are great musicians out there, so many of them, and just to have that platform, just to have that audience base was just not something that was easy to do as a startup musician. But I figured Mortal Kombat was something that I did because it's something that brought my family together, my 2 brothers and myself. We played that together on the PlayStation 1.
Wow.
And it's just something that we did for fun. And I figured, maybe if I bring the same energy as an entertainer to the Mortal Kombat community, it may be something that people will gravitate towards too. So that's what I did.
That's absolutely awesome.
That's incredible.
I think it shows. I think it definitely shows. Like we said, you came in swinging, and the audience that you've been able to capture in just a short time you've been here, I mean, that's something that takes people years to accomplish. And you're saying that you started during COVID, that guy over there. Took him years to figure this out.
I was like 6 years in before I even knew what to do.
Yeah.
So that is super interesting. Now, my question is, where did you kind of discover Twitch and host? So 2-part question. Where did you discover Twitch? And then how did you think, I want to host tournaments? Because that's very different from just playing MK. Hosting tournaments is totally different. So let's start with, where did you find Twitch? And then let's talk about, how did you figure out, I want to host tournaments?
I found Twitch from my friend Genius. That was around COVID time, so that would be around 2020 of May, actually. I started off Mixer, but Mixer got bought out. So it was my first month at Mixer. It was just something that I was just doing for fun, but I figured I'll try it. I specifically did not want to go on Twitch for a reason that it was such a big platform that I was really scared.
Yeah.
I may not soar as much as I want to. So a part of that is just my self insecurity and I was just scared. That's really all that is. But I had no other choice. Mixer was gone, and I wasn't gonna go on Facebook. I respectfully. But so I decided to go on Twitch. I have a friend that streams on Destiny 2. His name is El Luigi, and I've been in his community for a couple months before I really decided to go in on Twitch. My friend Genius said, just try it out. Just see where it takes you. Maybe if you just do it how you're doing it on Mixer, play a few story, finish the story of Mortal Kombat 11, beat Chronic a bitch, maybe you'll...
Dude, she was a bitch too. Hell
She's
no.
a bitch.
Yeah.
She's a bitch. That's all I have to say.
Hacker,
That's
man.
a bitch. She's just not right. Okay, she's not right. So that was my content in Mixer. I said, I'm just gonna do it. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. So I went on Twitch. My first ever day on Twitch, I got rated by Shujinky Dink.
Ooh.
And that's where it all began.
Shouts to
That's where-
Dink.
Kind of like the stars aligned. The
Shout out
stars
to
aligned
Dink.
right there. Day one.
Yep. Dink rated me with 64 people. Bunch of my fam that is still my family from STB is still there up till today.
Great guys.
That's how it started, you know? It's just like, oh my goodness. I can't believe I had 3 people and then all of a sudden I had 64 people and then I had 30 people that stayed. And then the day after there was 15 people. Like, what? I had 4 or 5 people in Mixer. I was very, very, very grateful. I was happy. So that's how it all started for me on Twitch. And I decided I'm going to do this. But it wasn't like that after that day. After that day, it was just like 4, 5, 10, 15 people. You had to grow it little by little. I did not take no shortcuts whatsoever. So that was June, July, August, September. September was a crucial month for me because that's when I decided to, you know, I'm going to bring in a little bit more on the table. I'm going to bring in my music. And then Wise and Jukes found me in October. Wise and Gemini and Jukes found me singing and playing Mortal Kombat, hosting a coth with my friends in September, October, and they decided to shout me out on Twitter. And everything else is history after that. I did not even know these people. Like, I was just, who are these people? And they start coming on my stream, and they start like asking me for music, and they were just there. And most of them never really left. Wise is still fam, Jukes is still fam.
Hell yeah.
And then it's just like surreal for me. It's an experience that I can't ever compare from anything else. And my life has been colorful. My life is in the world of film and theater. That's my background. Nothing is as colorful as the online world and magical thing about Twitch. How did that happen? And so December, I said, I got the numbers, I got the community, I got the right people in my corner. I want to try partner grind. I want to do it. I want to do it. It's probably shooting for the stars, but if I don't have that belief in myself, it's never going to happen. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but that's who I am. I work. I put a lot of work for everything. I put a lot of thought for everything. I sacrifice things, and I make sure that when I get there, even if I don't have 1 million people, I have the right people in my corner no matter what. So December, I said, I'm going to host some cause that is for Xbox. I didn't have the money. I did not have the funds. But I said, maybe I'm going to give away some Razer headphones for now. That's what I'm going to do because that's all I can afford. And so I did that. It became a big thing. A lot of people from the community that I did not even know that were pros supported my little event. Jukes was there, Wise, Hijinks was there. There's so many people. And then all of a sudden, it was just 5, 10 pros to 30 pros that is asking Vera when is the next event. And so I decided, you know, this is my grind. This is what I'm going to do. People like what I put on the table. They like the original events. Even if it may sound a little crazy, they like it. So I did it every day from December and up till today. I'm still doing something like that. And it's paid off. It's paid off like crazy.
Wow. I could sit here and listen to her tell her story.
I'm fired up, man.
All
I'm fired up.
day
After
long.
That was
Vera,
awesome.
that was incredible. I hope everyone watching just like can take inspiration from that because that was fucking incredible. Vera.
Hell yeah.
Vera, I told you I was gonna mess it up here during the show. I knew that I would. But so many things that you talked about resonated with all of us that are content creators. You know, it's finding a place and just connecting with the right people. So many different aspects of your journey, even up to this point, has been incredible. You know, I have a couple of questions. First thing I want to talk about is the fact that Shujinky Dink has been brought up a lot on this show, believe it or not. Yeah. And I feel like we got to bring Dink on in the future. Because shout outs to Dink. One of the true like OG YouTubers of our community is actually Shujinky Dink. You know, one of the guys that was really put in the grind early back in MK9 and Injustice 1 days in our community. So shouts to him. One of the questions I have is, did you find that just meeting those few guys that end up stopping by your stream and going, holy shit, this content's incredible. Did those guys kind of get your foot in the door with the competitive community, or did that also start with the STB guys that are associated with Dink and them?
Not really. Not really the STB guys. The STB guys are more there for for me, for what I do on Twitch, for my my screaming and my raging on AIs. I didn't even know that there's such thing as move list. I had no idea. MK11 was my first fighting game. So I was just pressing buttons. That's what they're there for. But the whole scene about the competitive scene, that's the pro players. That's Wise, that's Jukes, that's Hijinks. I had no idea who to talk to. I had no idea who to invite on my events. It was Hijinks that's really told me, because he likes events. He likes joining in them, events.
Yes, he does.
He loves it, and and he said, I'll introduce you to the few people that I know, and if you'd like to have them in your events, I'm sure they'd be happy to. But I only offer this little money. I don't have a lot of money to offer. But I guess around that time, because COVID hit.
Yeah, there wasn't much going on.
There wasn't much going on. So that's what he said. It's a perfect time because there's not much going on. So if there's a platform that you can give these competitive players, these pro players, I'm sure they would appreciate it. So yeah, that's how really it all happened.
On top of that, too, real quick, Flashy, before I forget, because I'm a very forgetful old man. You've also catered to, some communities that also, on top of there not being a lot, communities that haven't gotten a lot ever. Yes. And more specifically, I think you know where I'm going with this, which is the European CIS side of things. For one, brilliant, because I'm also a morning person, and so I get to catch your European stuff all the time. But how did you get into the European side of things? Because that's a scene that didn't have a lot, and you kind of filled that void, and now your European events blow up like crazy.
So much.
Yeah.
There's so much. I see that, and I'm just like, yo, this is what I meant to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to inspire. I'm supposed to let other people know that if Vera wasn't scared to even, penetrate that community, I can do that too. And that's what I said. But there were a lot of EU players that I start stopping by on my stream, and they start actually saying, are you ever going to do this for the EU scene? It was something that was always in the back of my head, but it was something that I knew, I start this, that means it's going to be extra thing. That means there's a separate channel for the EU to make sure that they're catered right. It's a lot of work, and I wasn't ready at that time because I said, first, I did not have the funds, and I wanted to be as fair as possible. How much money I'm giving for the NA has to be the exact same money that I'm giving for the EU, because I don't want anybody saying that, oh, she's giving way more for the NA. Oh, she's giving way more for the EU. What is this? So the balance act was absolutely the challenge there for me. But when I finally had my, 1 foot on the door, I decided to I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to give them everything I can and make sure that they know that this platform is for everybody. It was a little bit of a challenge because of the connection. I'm not going to lie. And my connection here in Canada is awful, by the way. It's not you guys. It's me. It's me here. It's just not great. So I just didn't want to upset anybody by, maybe having connection issues or little things like that, because I did not know anything about it. I wasn't sure if that's something that was even possible. But then I had a lot of help from friends that told me, no, it's not going to be an issue because you're not the one playing. As long as you don't have people playing from NA versus EU, it should be fine. It should be fine. Shouldn't be worried about that. So, yeah, I did that, and it hasn't stopped. I'm gonna say something really crazy here, but I love the EU community so much.
Oh, dude, they're awesome, and they, like I said, they just haven't gotten a whole lot of love. And something that you brought up had to have specifically resonated with those players, because you said that you didn't want there to be, more for the NA and less for the EU. That's what they are used to, and that's what they have been used to for a very long time, from the pro competition, the Injustice Pro series. Really, anything large that gets announced, either it's NA only, or NA gets most of it, and then EU is just this little side project that's for fun, and that's what they're used to. And so you definitely catered to something that put them in the spotlight, and rest is history, as you said earlier.
Yes, absolutely. There's so many amazing players in the EU. There's just crazy and professional. I want to say that. I want to point that out. Like when they say they're gonna be there, they're gonna be there. And for me, I don't ask for a whole lot. I don't like asking for a whole lot. I love what I'm doing and I love what I'm giving, and that's not stop. But I value my time more than anything, and I value your word. If you say you're gonna show up, you better show up. 'Cause
Vera,
if you
preaching to the choir on that one.
I was gonna say,
Flashy,
you're hitting a note with Aquaman here. Every time he's
Flashy,
got
get a
DQs and
test.
stuff, he's just like, dude, I
But-
can't stand these DQs
But
anymore.
if you remember, Flashy, during I want to say our last two events, Europe was always the ones that
They're
that
on point, man.
They were on point.
They're there. They're ready to play.
Meanwhile, 98% of NA DQ'd because
Not-
yeah, and so you're right. Europeans, they're still hungry. That's one of the best ways I can describe it. They still have a hunger in them to compete and to foster a community. Whereas NA is in kind of a crazier place, and I think that it might be because they're used to so much and they just simply don't have it right now. And now it's just a bunch of dogs trying to chew on this little bone in the corner, fighting each other, just clawing at each other. But Flashy, did you have a question that you had for?
Yeah, something. So we kind of like glossed over really quick, but I think it speaks to a much larger opportunity here to talk about. So Vera, when you said you were on Mixer, you said that you had 4 or 5 people and
Yes.
you were over the moon happy,
Oh,
just
yes.
ecstatic. And I think that is so important to talk about because I feel like so many people in this space, in terms of like content or even like likes on Twitter or something, they'll just get so dissuaded, if that's
for
even
sure.
the word, opposite of persuaded by the numbers. And as soon as you said like I had 4 people and I was over the moon, my eyes lit up because I was like, I've never heard somebody say that.
Yeah.
Like that just goes to show that there's a plan and you know how you're going to execute it. So I want to ask, going into this, did you tell yourself like, don't focus on the numbers, just have fun and do your thing? Or so like what was kind of that process to not fall into the trap of looking at the numbers and being like, I'm done, these numbers suck?
I cried about it so much. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yo, I cried, and I can confirm. Like, I've cried on my stream. I've cried with Super Magi. He's my friend. He's the one got me all through all of this, But there was always a point that you had to look at the number. That's
Yes.
crazy if you didn't. That's crazy. It's
Yes.
it's crazy talk. It's crazy talk. But I realized what I'm there for. I'm an entertainer. I'm just not a tournament organizer. I'm just not a streamer. Just not a content creator. More than anything, I am an entertainer. And to be an entertainer, it doesn't matter how many people are on the stage are watching you. It doesn't matter how many audience are there. The way you perform does not change how many people are watching you, if it's 4 or if it's 400 or if it's 4,000. So I decided, as long as I can reach every single person that watches me on my stream, that's all that matters to me. When it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's okay. Shit happens. Not everything is perfect. But, like looking back, when I said I gone through like 2 people and 4 people and 10 people and 15 people and 35 and 40, I never got a shortcut, you guys. Like, it's so hard to explain. Like, it's so hard to make a point, but Twitter likes are just Twitter likes. 160 people and 6 people, it does not matter at the end of the day. It does not. It really doesn't. Like, people are so caught up. People are so
Yeah.
caught up in that idea that, oh, no. I only have 4, but she has 400. But why? I only have 1,500 followers, but she had 15,000. Why?
That mentality is already kind of bringing them down right out of the gate, and
Yes.
You're already lost.
yeah, you've
already lost.
pretty much already lost at that point. And I mean, almost daily to both of you, I see someone on Twitter just absolutely giving up because they look at one thing, and then they're like, okay, it's not it. And so many people come to me looking for advice or looking for a way to kind of make it a quicker process because it's different for everyone. For me, I didn't even stream on Twitch for almost 6 to 7 years of competing and tournament organizing and commentating. I had to stream on Twitch like once until I put so much work in, and a lot of people expect it to be that kind of instant success. Or they think it is when it really isn't. There's all those years and all those hardships of wanting to give up every other day, which is, I mean, something that we all run into. And there's something that you said that really caught my ear, and it's because I I feel this way as well. A lot of people view this as not an entertainment industry, when at the end of the day, this is an entertainment industry. Being a Twitch streamer, being a competitor, if you want to have a following, you need to entertain them. And a lot of people miss that concept, whether it be, a lot of people in the competitive community are kind of guilty of this, where they are like, okay, I'm just going to play and they'll come. And if I'm good, they'll come. If they come and they're watching a direct PS4 feed, that's at fucking 613p with your music blaring, no microphone, and your little live symbol up in the top corner, and you're really good at the game. You're fucking people up, but someone comes in and they're like, "Oh, this is boring as shit. Turn off," and that's where a lot of people are starting to get to. But for the longest time, Vera, and Flashyy, that wasn't the case in our community. It was all about how good someone was. But now that we're progressing, and now that everything else is progressing on Twitch and YouTube, it's all about people just want to be fucking entertained. If they tune in, if they can escape their own reality for a little bit, or just be in a positive space for like a lot of us. And that's why even I tune into you, Vera, is because you have a positive space, and that's really hard to find here online, on the internet in general.
Yes. Absolutely.
So now I kind of want to segue this into another thing that it seems like your path in this content creating world is you kind of just fall into these things, right? Like you're like, I'm going to just go on here and I'm going to see what I can do just playing a story mode. Oh, now I'm playing for 40, 50 people. Oh, now I'm hosting a tournament. And something else that you kind of fell into was commentary. And I learned that because you've been a commentator here on the Kolosseum.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, did you ever have a plan to be a commentator, or did that just, again, I feel like those things just kind of happened to you?
Not really. No plan on that. Not gonna lie. I said, I'm so bad at the game. There is no way I'm gonna represent this game and commentate about it. Like, I wasn't interested because I said, I'm not interested in dipping my toes into something that I don't know. I just can't do it. I just can't. I have to learn it first. That's the reason why I learned the game. That's the reason why I put hours so much, asking Foxy to teach me, asking Jukes to teach me, Hijinks to teach me, get me games and everything. I want them to tell me what I can understand and what I don't understand. And before I decided to try out commentary, I was just not there. I was just not sure if that's something that I could do. But then I watched Mr. Aquaman and Falcon and them on We Play, and I said, what a fucking great opportunity to be able to do that. That inspired me so much on my production side of things for my events, plus the commentary. Because I said to myself, it's a great opportunity to be in one of those events that you can represent the game in the best way possible. So why don't I just take an extra time in my day? I'm already working 12 hours. I may as well put extra 4 to learn the game and the commentary side of things. So you inspired me, Mr. Aquaman, to take that commentary side of things because, I'm brown. English is not my first language. I'm a lady. I don't know how people are gonna take that. I don't know.
I can't even grasp the English language half the time. So
we literally talked about this on the pre-call.
Yep.
Aquaman was saying English is way too hard. I can't do it.
It's so difficult, So I wasn't sure if that's something that people would accept because, like I said, I wasn't sure if you would understand me, if you'd hear so much of my accent that I would be discriminated because of it. Is my knowledge of the game not good enough? And people would think that, she's too pretentious for this shit. Nah, get her out. No, so I was really scared more than anything. But, people made me comfortable into doing that. I had a lot of friends that have invited me to be a part of their commentary events or their events altogether and to commentate for it. Mr. Aquaman, if Mr. Aquaman invited me, that means maybe I'm doing something right. Maybe I just have to get better at it. So
I mean, Vera, one thing you said is something that most people miss, which is acknowledging that they need to know more about the game that they're going to do something with. I cannot tell you how many commentators try to, again, get to that. They see someone like me at an event like We Play, and they're like, all right, how do I get there? And then they're like, okay, how do I get there in like 5 minutes?
No.
And you really do, and good on you for doing it in the time that you did, because again, that process could take years. Fighting games are complex sons of bitches. They are they if anyone like in my real life asks me what I do for a living and they try to get really specific with it and they're like, okay, well, what are fighting games? And I start to break it down. I'm like shapes and numbers and there's trigonometry going on over here.
How do you feel about math?
Yeah.
In video games?
I'm like,
and they're like, all right, I don't want to hear about this anymore.
I actually it was at We Play. I started to talk about that, and all my other co-hosts were like, "Shut up! No one wants to hear about that actual stuff about fighting games." And I was like, "You guys are right," because because they actually are really complex, and being honest, the viewer or most viewers know when someone doesn't know what they're talking about when it comes to fighting games. They really do, and they will let you know in the comments immediately. And in the most harshest way possible, and I just want to give you props for that because I see that in other commentators as well. And if anyone is trying to aspire to be a commentator watching this, that is I think one of the first things that I tell people is get the game knowledge down because you have to earn the trust of someone watching you, and at a competitive level. That's one of the easiest ways to do it is if you sound like you know what you're talking about, and there are ways to fake it because I make up a lot of shit myself. And as long as you can earn their trust, you'll be good to go.
Absolutely.
And going back to something that you were talking about, and Aquaman brought up the whole idea of comments, and you were talking about how you were scared, like are people going to judge you for your accent or what you're saying or anything like that? I think this is actually a good opportunity to talk about this. We bring it up sometimes on the show. The whole idea of internet comments. I mean, to be as forward as I can about it. Has it ever stopped you from doing something? Has it ever affected you in a way that it shouldn't have affected you? Or like, how did you work through the whole idea of negative comments online? Or have you always just been like, fuck it, brush it off, I don't even give a shit?
Fuck it, for me. These people do not.
There it is. There we go. That's it.
Know who I am. No, I do not know who they are either. But you can be cruel to people. I always say that too. I do not pay attention to it, and I always believe that trolls, their whole turf become bigger because you pay attention to them.
Yeah, because you give them something, because you give them the attention that they're looking for. Exactly.
Yeah. And like when people say, "Oh, these people have said things to me and messaged me and all that stuff," well, they don't do it to me. You know why? Because I said, "Fuck it." I don't give a shit. Do your thing. I always say that. Mm-hmm. If that's what you feel like, go for it. And I'm not going to judge you for it because you may be going through something in your life that you felt the need to say whatever you need to say. And that's fine. But I'm just not going to pay attention to it. It's okay.
That's a great mentality to have. Having thicker skin to be able to deal with that is another necessity to me to be, not just a commentator, but an entertainer, right? Especially on the internet, this could almost apply to any game, any streamer, any content creator that has the ability to have someone comment on it and they go for your jugular. How do you deal with that? Because if you give them a certain reaction, it's only going to feed them more are going to show up, and it's going to be a spiral downward. Because I don't know how real we're going to get right now, but to get real personal with you guys, I've seen that kill people. Like inside and out, I have seen commentators and players spiral down because of comments online, and what's crazy is I don't know, a lot of ways to kind of help with that other than the way that I've dealt with it, other than the way that you've dealt with it, Vera, which is I say, what the fuck him,
Yeah, that's it.
And for anyone watching at home, if you're going through that, that's. The only thing I can say is that's how I've dealt with it too. It has been, listen, what are they to me? I'm the one doing something. They're the one sitting at home watching. So thank you for the view. I appreciate it. Thank you for the comment, for the algorithm. Suck a dick.
Yes, exactly. Literally, go for it.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely, and I think the general theme of all your success, Vera, is your mentality when you came into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything you said, from the numbers to dealing with bad comments to how you look at your content and stuff like that, it's just that mentality that you came with is rock solid, and kudos to you for doing that. But now let's look to the future. Let's get a little more positive.
Okay.
What does the future hold for Vera? You're just starting. You're a year and a half into this whole content creator game. You're just starting. You got the whole future ahead of you. What is it holding for you? You said at the beginning that you have like an idea, you have a plan.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. What does Vera see in her future in the next couple of years for commentating or for content creating? Sorry.
Content creating wise, I want to try other games as well. Like, I'm just excited of what like the new NRS game would be, because that's what I'm definitely doing events for that and playing it myself. But at the same time, I want to try other games. Like right now, I am so stuck into Back for Blood, like it's ridiculous. Like I've been streaming for 10 hours every day for the last week. I'm not kidding. Like
grinding.
That's a grind.
I am grinding, and it's fine because it's just something that I can do aside from other things that I may already have an idea how to do. I just like having that, that options and what I can do moving forward. I'm still young. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Hey, wait, this will be coming out on your birthday.
On your birthday.
Yeah.
Everybody in the comments, happy birthday to Vera. This will literally be out on your birthday. Wow.
Wish her happy birthday on Twitter,
present to
on
you.
YouTube, on Twitch.
That's awesome.
Hit her
That
up
is
today.
absolutely awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. It means a lot to me. I have no idea. But like, I said this, and my little family and my community would agree with this, because I've said this many times on my stream. Thank you so much for letting me or getting me to where I am today, because it means a lot to have that kind of support and genuine support from you guys. But this is only the beginning. This is where it starts. Sky is the limit. We got that check mark. That check mark doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything about it. People get that check mark and then they stop, and then that's it, and then that's it for them. For me, that's my little reward for myself, but that's just my start. That means now I can try other games. I can maybe pursue my music more. I want to put out music out there. I am writing a shit ton of songs right now. My friend Super Mad Genius is producing them as we speak. Those are the little things that I wanted to. I want to just try everything that I can. But the fighting game community will always be my home. Always will be. And I'll forever be grateful for that, because if not for that, I would not have met so many amazing people. I'll keep paying my dues on that community always. I'll always be grateful. Never leaving that community. But now I just want to try something else. I just want to try to shoot zombies maybe, or to just sing a song and write a song.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta shoot a zombie in the face.
Those are two opposite ends of the spectrum.
I know, right?
Like, I want to sing a song, I want to
write
blast
some,
a zombie's
I want to write some
face
beautiful music, and then I want to shoot a zombie in the forehead over and over again.
I love it. For 10 hours. I want to do
awesome.
it.
And then go on Mortal Kombat and rip someone's spine out through their esophagus.
Yeah, even better.
Yes, something like that. That's what I want to do. I just want to try everything that I can. I just want to keep inspiring people. Like, I just want people to know that, if Vera did it, you can do it. Because Vera did not know shit before I started doing this. I've always said that, and I'm always gonna be that person to tell people, like, you cannot pay attention to shit. You cannot let that bring you down. You cannot let anybody stop you from being who you are, and that's who I am. Because, I'm a little person. I don't know anything really, but if I was brave enough to try on something, you can too. I always say that, always, and I believe in that, and I think, more than anything, having that, like I had this long message on my Discord yesterday. If only I can read it to you guys. I said, like what Danik said, it's all part of the plan. Why we meet people, when we meet people, how we meet them, and who we meet, always have a reason. It may not be always for the good reasons, but regardless, it teaches us a lesson, no matter what. So that's what I'm living for, and that's what I want to do. Now, sky's the limit. I will always be here to support the fighting game community and whatever there is in the future. But I want to also do my thing. I want to also sing. I want to also write my music. I want to put music out there. This is what I wanted to do in the beginning. I'm doing that now.
Oh, that's incredible, Vera. That's going to be a bright future ahead for you. And I think we're just going to end this on one last question, Flashy. Go ahead. That was a beautiful sentiment right there. Every single time, and I mean every single time I've ever seen this woman on camera, there's a Tim Hortons cup in her hand.
Yes.
Every single, I don't understand it. It's every single, and it's the biggest one. It's always that one. It's always 400. Look at that thing. Look how big that is. It's massive.
Oh my god, it's you.
My question for you is, first off, what's in there?
Okay, this is just two cream,
Two
two
coffees?
sugar. No. Extra large coffee, 2 cream, 2 sugar, and 2 shots of espresso.
Holy crap.
I'm wired. I'm wired as fuck.
That's how she's able to go 12 hours a day right there, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
how she's streaming back to back for 11 hours straight, right there.
That's
There you
right.
go.
That's it right there. Powered by Tim Hortons.
Yes.
Vera, it was an absolute blast getting to know you a little bit more, your origin story, and I hope that everyone watching here has learned a little bit about you and is going to go check you out now after watching you here, because it's been an absolute blast. Flashy, you want to take us out?
Absolutely. Vera, I think I speak for Aquaman, myself, and everybody that's listening. You said the word, you hope you inspire, and you definitely did. I mean, from hearing what you said and the mentality that you bring and everything that you do, you're fucking crushing it. And I just wish you nothing but the best. Keep going. Keep doing your thing. Branch out. Play whatever games you want. Put out some banger songs. Come back home to MK. Do your thing. Literally, like you said, sky's the limit. And you're this far ahead, only a year and a half in. And yeah, you got a lot of good things coming. So awesome to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. All of her links are down in the description, people. Go click them all. Follow her on Twitch, Twitter, all that good stuff. We didn't talk about your YouTube, but when you come back on the show next time,
Hey.
Yeah.
we'll talk about the YouTube channel. Don't worry. But Vera, awesome talking to you. Everybody, please be sure to subscribe to the Kolosseum channel. We'll be back next week with another episode of the KoloCast. We'll see you then. Peace.